Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and hello everyone. Today I will be talking about family. I will not talk about it in great detail. I will just touch upon the general things, and so you can have background knowledge and sort of good understanding of what you're going to talk in a small group. If you want to learn more about family, then you can spend more time for your self-study. To begin with, I think we need to study the following conversation. Let me just read it for you. And then for those of you who might find it difficult to pronounce certain words in this conversation, then you can just copy what I am saying. But if you have your own way to pronounce it and probably you know how to do it, then it's just completely fine. Okay, so let me just begin it. How many people are there in your family? There are 5 people in my family: my father, mother, brother, sister, and me. Does your family live in a house or an apartment? We live in a house at a countryside. What does your father do? My father is a doctor. He works at the local hospital. How old is your mother? She's 40 years old, 1 year younger than my father. Do you have any siblings? What's her name? Yes, I do. I have 1 elder brother, David, and 1 younger sister, Mary. Are you the eldest among your brothers and sisters? No, I am not. I am the second child in my family. What does your father like? My father likes playing football and my mother likes cooking. Do your parents let you stay out late? Of course not. They always ask me to get home before 10 p.m. each night. Do you stay with your parents? Right now? No, but I used to. Does your family usually have dinner together? Yes, we do. My mom always prepares delicious meals for us. Okay. From this conversation, then we can have a look at some useful vocabulary, and I think we can also practice to make short sentences and probably longer sentences. It depends on our time, and I hope you don't get bored. Here we go. The first one, life and leave. These 2 vocabulary mostly messed up by some beginners. They say, I live in Kendari. So live is noun and leave is verb. And you can say, please don't mess up with my life. Okay. Or you can say, my life is beautiful now, so please go away from my life. You can say so. Or leave, you can say, I live in Kendari, I live with my family. I live close to campus because my house is very far. It takes me 2 hours from home to campus. So you can imagine I can spend, some hours on the way. Okay. So what you can notice, the longer you make sentence, the better you can see how words are placed in a context, because context is always important in any conversation. Now we're going to go to stay. The stay, just similar with live. So you can use these 2 words interchangeably. You can say, I live in Kendari, I stay in Kendari. I live with my mother, I stay with my mother. I stay close to campus, I live very close to campus. So, you can just use them. Later on, if you want to find the very, very, distinctive meaning between live and stay, you will came across when to use live and when to use stay, but for now, then you can just use them, interchangeably. And the next one, spouse. Spouse means wife and husband. So you say, example, this is the wife and this is the husband. And when the wife introduces the husband, say, hello, everyone, this is my spouse. And this husband, when he wants to introduce his wife, he might say, hello, everyone, this is my spouse. So spouse is the representative for wife and husband. Now, cousin, yeah? So cousin. So cousin is the representative or similar with nephew and niece. So when you want to say, hi, this is my nephew or this is my niece, personally, so nephew for male and niece for female. But if you don't want to mention nephew and niece, you can just say, this is my cousin. Now, we would like to see younger and older. So it's very easy. So say this one, like this one is higher, this one is lower. So in terms of age, this is older and this is younger, right? And I hope that makes sense. And have and has. So this sometimes, I came across with this issue every year when I teach new students. They mess these words. I say, I has and she have. So you need to remember when you say I, you, we, and they, you need to match it with have. And then you use has, you say she, he, and it. You need to match this, subject with has. So she has, I have, they have, he has. You cannot change it. Yeah, like for example, I has. It's completely wrong. But somehow it's tolerable. It's okay for a beginner to mix it. Do not be shy because as time passes by and when you listen to other people how they say it, you will notice that I think I'm wrong. So making mistake is just normal as long as there is consistent effort to use the language. And then after that, later on you will come across with what is the correct one. Okay, so don't worry with mistakes. Siblings. Sibling is brother or sister. You can say this is my brother and this is my sister, or you can say this is my sibling and this is my sibling. The sibling is the representative of brother or sister. It's very easy, isn't it? Job and work. This is quite difficult. I'll illustrate it in this way. Where do you work, Colin? I work at IAIN-Kendari. What's your job? I am an English teacher. So if you can pay attention to the question, then you can see how you're going to use job and work, right? And now we're going to see work versus do. If you say like this, it's I do my assignment because it will due tomorrow. If you say work, I work on my assignment because it will due tomorrow. You cannot say I work my assignment, right? No, I work on my assignment because it will due tomorrow, or I do my assignment because it will due tomorrow. See, in here, when you use I work on and I do, similar meaning. Yeah, they have similar meaning. But if you say I do my assignment and I work my assignment, they are not the same, right? Next, we're going to see ask, right? So this is another word which confuses people. So if you say ask, let's say, I want to ask you a question, means like you want to ask for an information. So then you will get the information. I want to ask you a question. You need some information from the person. And if you say, can I ask you to do something, means you order someone to do something for you. So it depends on the context, right? So then you really need to see what context that you are using, so then you can address this appropriately. Okay. Now let's see have dinner and eat dinner. So some people, they can use this, incorrectly, right? For example, I used to hear I dinner at 7 o'clock. It's fine because it's understandable, but it is better if you say I have dinner at 7 o'clock, or I eat dinner at 7 o'clock. So dinner actually, it's the time for having food, while have dinner is actually the the process of having dinner itself, so then we can have something in our stomach and then we'll not go hungry, right? We are not going hungry, or we do not go hungry. That's what I mean. So in here, I want you to see that the use of have and eat, they are similar. So you can say, I have dinner, I have breakfast, I have lunch, or I eat dinner, I eat breakfast, or I eat lunch, right? So you can just use them interchangeably. And get together. So get together is say you have someone or more than one people, you stay close each other, and then maybe you can talk about something. So you can, for example, like this, in this context, I hope we can get together to talk about our issues dealing with the next week assignment. So the earlier we get together, the better we can see how we will plan the assignment. Okay. And the next one, prepare. Prepare. So prepare, you can say, I prepare some meals for my breakfast, so then I can have power. And so when I study, I will not be lazy, or I will not go sleepy. Or I can say, I always prepare myself for the class, just to avoid misunderstanding between what the lecturer is explaining and what is my understanding. So you can see how we're going to use prepare there. And the next one is provide. Yes, provide. I will provide you some examples, so then you can see how you are going to parse the words in the sentence. I can say I provide you some books, so then you can read and you get more information about what you're going to write with your assignment. I can say I provide you some money in case you really need it, but if you think that the money that you are having with you, it's enough, don't take the one that I provide you as your extra money, right? And then the next one, have tea or have coffee, or drink tea or drink coffee. They are similar. If you can see this one, like the have dinner and eat dinner, and have tea and drink tea. So you just need to see the context. As again, I am repeating, saying context here. I want to have tea. I want to drink tea. They are similar. So please use this. They are very, very good vocabulary. Stay out late. Stay out late. Stay out late means you go out, or sometimes you have something to do with your friends, and you know, you don't realize the time passes very quickly, and so you get home very late. In this context, I stay out late. In the example, you may say, I always stay out late, especially when I discuss my assignment with my friends. Remember, we don't use I discuss about my assignment with my friend. I discuss my assignment with my friends. We don't use about. What else? Meals and food. Meals and food, we use this interchangeably. I prepare some meals, I prepare some food. I want to eat my meals, I want to eat my food, right? Okay, so they are the same. And get home and go home. Wow, this is also, you know, can be very new for those people who can just use, or who can just come across with the use of get home, because in here, culturally in our campus, they usually I go home. You can say I want to get home, right? But in some contexts, they might be different, that they can be also similar. So the difference is very subtle. Okay. What time do you get home? What time do you want to go home? Right? They are same in that context. Next, let me go. I hate it, I can say. Let me have my lunch first because I'm very hungry now. I'm starving. Let me study because I don't think I can answer the exam tomorrow. So please let me study. Don't bother me. I'm hoping that this useful vocabulary can help you understand and improve the range of your vocabulary, and so you can speak better. Next, what we're going to study next, we will study the grammar. Do and does used yes, as yes, no questions. And the second one, we will study WH question. But I'm hoping that you can pay attention, or you can center your eyes in the red color. Let me read it for you. Does your family live in a house or an apartment? Remember, if we use does here, then the verb will be like this. Yeah, we use verb one or base verb. So does your family. If I delete does, you can say your family lives, my family lives, right? So does your family live? Do you have? Do your parents let you stay out late? So you can see that. So why we use do with parents? Because parents are two, mother and father. So I say, do your parents let you stay out late? We don't use does your parents, okay? But if you use parents as one, but we'll never say that parent for father only, or we don't say parent for mother only. We use parents as the representative for mother and father. And then the next one, what else? Do you stay with your parents? So do you stay with your parents? See there, do you? We don't say does you. And does your family usually have dinner together? So you can see the red color have and does, right? So what is the red color? The red color is the verb. So if you use verb and then you want to ask someone, then you need to put does and do at the beginning or at the outset of the sentence, just like in this context. Do you go to the market? Do you eat banana? That means apakah. So if you want to use that, but the answer is yes and no, then you must use this. All right. Okay. And then let's move on to WH question. What, why, when, how, and where? What does your mother, father like? Yeah. So if I delete these, if I delete this one, that like what your father's hobby, what's your mother's hobby? Yeah, so what does your mother like? What they are like? What do they like to do? And similar, analogy, yeah, or thinking. But if you put these look like, that's another meaning, yeah, that it has different meanings. So seperti apa, right, in Bahasa Indonesia. And so we need to delete this. Okay, where do you live? So if you want to require the person to tell you more answer, then you need to use what, why, when, how, and where. But if you want to use, you want the person to just answer yes or no, then you can say, do you live in Kamaraya? Do you live in Baruga? Do you live close to campus? Where do you live? So where do you live requires more or longer answer. Why do you stay alone? Why don't you stay with your family? See that? So why do you stay? Or if I say, do you stay alone? Or that why do you stay alone requires longer answer. So I think you need to pay attention to the question, because one of the problematic situation that usually students face, they cannot create question, they cannot address the question, they can only talk, but when they want to ask question, they feel very hesitant, and as a result, the conversation go flat. Okay. And now we're going to go to the last slide. What is that? That's one. So study the following sentence. We're going to focus on verbs. All the red ones, are verbs. We live, okay? We don't say we lives. We need to remember. So our brain needs to work very hard when we use a sentence. If dictionary will not tell you S and ES, your knowledge of grammar can decide whether you're going to put inflection S or ES. When I say inflection, penambahan, right? We live in a house in the countryside. He works. We don't say he worked. No. He works at the local hospital. I have one older brother, David, and a younger sister, Mary. My father likes. My father like. My sister likes. She likes. Okay. My father likes playing football, and my mother likes cooking. They always ask me to get home before 10 p.m. each night. They always ask. If I say my father always asks me, but they always ask me, right? Okay, to get home before 10 p.m. each night. My mom always prepares. My parents always prepare delicious meals for us. So this is very important. You need to control it yourself. None of us will control it, because the one who uses the language is yourself. Okay? You will not rely on somebody else to correct you. So in here, when we use the language, Self-reliant is very, very essential. Now we can compare with the followings. The first one, we don't live in a house in a countryside. We don't live. Okay, if you say tidak, we say we don't live. We say we not live. We don't live. Okay. Why we say don't? Because the subject is we. And how about he? He don't. He doesn't work at the local hospital. You can see the S here. I put line there. That's the there like that one. This symbol. This one. This indicates that we don't require S. We don't need the S there because there is doesn't. Yeah, if we use doesn't, no S. But he works. He doesn't work, right? At the local hospital. I don't have older brother, but I have one younger sister, Mary. My father doesn't like. But if we say my father likes, again, my father likes. But if I say my father doesn't like, right? That's very clear. So my father doesn't like playing football. My mother likes cooking. So when we pronounce English, we need to be clear with the final S or the final ES. And then the use of ES and S correctly, part of our grammatical understanding of how the language is used, right? Especially English. They always do not ask me to get home before 10 p.m. each night. They always do not ask me. So if you say tidak, you need to remember for verbs for kata kerja, we use do. We do not ask me. I do not eat. We don't eat. She doesn't eat. Okay, so that is very easy. My mom always doesn't prepare. My mom always does not prepare delicious meals for us. Okay, so if we use doesn't, we don't use as the final. Well, guys, I'm hoping that this presentation can help you understand the use of verbs. And we hope that, I personally hope the vocabulary can help you, improve your vocabulary. Or in other words, I hope that this material will help you understand more vocabulary and you can use them for your own context in your future conversation. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.